Hey guys, welcome back. January 6th, 2021. This channel is called 2021 What Now? Why did I call it What Now? Well, because every day that we're now going to unfold in this new year is a bit of a mystery, right? Because we're in this election process still. We're in this COVID crisis. We're in this supposed great reset crisis leading up to 2030. We're in an economic crisis or a recession to follow this sort of election COVID dilemma, right? So there's a lot happening, and What Now just seemed like the right title because, once we're done blaming everyone, including our own parents and our friends and this asshole and this community and that party and this country and that president, once we're done blaming everyone and everything, we still have to go to bed, get rest, wake up, put food on our tables, feed our kids, parent our kids, deal with bills, work, and so forth, right? That's not going anywhere. We can blame people and things as long until the cows come home and nothing's going to shift, right? We can get a $2,000 check one month and that's gone in 2 weeks for most families, or faster, in a week. And then what? So what now? So today is January 6th, very important day. And today, as I was just reading here outside the Capitol, as Vice President Pence was supposed to certify Biden's win or the election. Supposedly, this is based on a Times of Israel news flash that just came in, and I happened to click on it. Violent clashes outside of the U.S. Capitol are happening, and of course, Trump supporters are blamed, and they could be Trump supporters. I'm not saying they're not, but there have been instances of Antifa or left, dressing up as Trump supporters and causing havoc. One doesn't know today because it's hard to distinguish that, right? But the fact is there are violent clashes right now happening, and so supposedly the U.S. Vice President Pence was escorted off the Senate floor. Security forces were worried. There's a threat, and so congressional office buildings are being evacuated, and so forth. So it's a true halt of the process. And of course, that's a little unsettling, especially for the left. It's like, oh great, here is Trump, as they call him, the fascist or a dictator, a sore loser, whatever, trying to stop this election. Now, of course he is, right? And he's done everything he could legally. And so his fans or supporters, I guess right now, are upset that perhaps had to do with Georgia, the runoff elections, that there was Democratic wins and so forth, and that, goes into the Senate, Congress, the Democratic power. So yes, one party is always going to be upset. If Republicans win, or if Trump should still win, the left's going to be upset. There's going to be some riots, clashes, and so forth. That's going to happen. There's no way around that. And to me, why that's happening is because it's sort of a reflection of our inner turmoil. And I said this before in one of my other episodes, I believe it was the episode on responsibility, is that if we truly want change in the world, we have to change. When we're running around telling someone that there was fraud or they're fraudulent or they're not right and so forth, it really pays to look at ourselves first. Like, where in our own lives are we cheating? Are we lying? Are we withholding? Are we fraudulently, perhaps closing, what is it called? Closing our eyes, or like looking the other way, right? Once in a while, the foreigner in me still comes out. I was born in Switzerland, grew up there, and spoke German. So sometimes I'll get to a word and I'm like, So, disclaimer. Anyway, so we really have to look at ourselves first. We really have to start the revolution inside of us first before we start or plan on or incite a revolution out there, trying to overturn some governmental force or some entity that, look, ultimately, politics, it's like a puppet show, right? It's not really who pulls the strings. Politicians and politics, even countries, are simply just characters, puppets in a much larger stage production, and someone's pulling the strings. And it's usually financial interests, of course. We often say people who want to be in power, but no one's ever been in power without money. Now, you could argue that and say, well, Gandhi was very powerful and didn't use force or wasn't after money. True. But in this sort of political or worldly sense of power and trying to rule the world, there's always money involved. You take money out of the equation, it's a whole different ballgame. So in this case, in order for us to truly start a revolution and actually change things and actually have this world look different, we have to start with ourselves. It has to be a personal revolution that starts today, where we stand up to our own egos, our own cultural brainwashing, and we stop ourselves in the middle of an act or perhaps an action where we see that that's there to really make ourselves look better, feel better, have more money, get away with something and so forth, protect us, whatever, you name it, fill in the blank. When we stop, when we sort of interrupt those patterns internally, that's starting in a revolution. That's almost being like our own personal whistleblower in our own lives. And so I wanted to make an episode just about that, to say that where can you and I today look at where we've been inauthentic, where we've been hiding, manipulating, cheating, lying, and so forth. I take that on myself this year to really go dig in the dark corners of me and really look, where am I still not fully in integrity with who I say I am and who I say I want to be and who I say the world, according to me, should look like? Because it starts with me, and I hate to go back to Gandhi again, but one of my latest favorite sayings is, be the change you want to see in the world. And the saying's always been with me. I've always respected it. I've always believed in it, but now more so than ever, I think it's time for all of us to look inward. And so our personal revolution starts now. Our personal disruption of our culturally brainwashed selves that has created patterns that just do not serve humanity, do not serve our communities. They have to be interrupted now, disrupted. So be a disruptor, be an interrupter of those patterns, dig deeper. Start that personal revolution today. Why not? It's 2021. What's next is a personal revolution that's needed. Anyway, have an amazing day. Until next time. Please like and subscribe, comment, dislike, doesn't matter. Engage, be part of this ongoing dialogue. Would love to see you again. Cheers.